YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Johnny Finesse. Welcome back to the channel. And today we have another Call of Duty Worldwide trailer. But this time this is the multiplayer trailer, so we finally get to see some multi gameplay. Like they had the alpha out, the 2v2 alpha. I played it once. I didn't really like it, just because like I didn't know what to do for real. Like I couldn't really play with my friends like that. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Like nobody didn't really have it. I was playing it by myself. It wasn't as fun as it would be by yourself, because you only could play with one extra player, like in a small map that you don't know. So people that been playing that shit all day got that super huge advantage, saying it wasn't fun. But hey, if you're new to the channel and haven't subbed yet, hit that sub button. We are on the road to 1100 subs, so make sure y'all hit that sub button and that bell notifications too, so you don't miss a thing again. With that being said, let's get into it. Call of Duty Vanguard Worldwide multiplayer reveal. Let's go. Let's get right. Y'all seen the story trailer? The story trailer not bad. Like running away from fallen buildings like it's Battlefield 4. Shit. It's like what? It's
the time is finally here. Welcome to the multiplayer reveal for Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm Greg Reisdorf.
But it's like, what can you do for this? Like you did, like
the multiplayer
like
creative director at Sledgehammer Games. At reveal, we saw the rise of Special Forces team, and now we've had our first technical test of Vanguard out in the wild, the Champion Hill Alpha. Our team is hyper focused on key data points coming out of that test, and thank you for all the valuable feedback.
Today, we will show you our vision of the multiplayer experience for Call of Duty Vanguard. On our last project, we brought the Brotherhood of World War II soldiers to life in a more traditional approach, which was a great experience. For Vanguard, we're taking liberties and risks to deliver something completely fresh, new, and fun.
But this is not fresh. We've done this before. Battlefield is still on this. Like their last game is still on this type of shit, and that shit came out years ago.
First, let's watch the world premiere of Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer.
This is 28 minutes.
Warriors, saboteurs, assassins, their lives turned upside down by the Reich. Each one with an axe to grind.
It's already on 4K.
And when we turn loose,
keep making sure it stays on 4K.
you better believe they're coming out swinging.
Wow. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? They really try to get niggas again, bro. They probably already got me. On the copyrights. Nah, I need to hear some music. That music, I ain't gonna lie. I definitely do need to hear some of that music. That shit is crazy. Boom, 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 boom. No hit markers? No hit markers? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh! You see how his legs look? Nah, I gotta put this shit on mute, because I already know niggas probably already copyrighted me and everything. Like, damn, it's tough. Tried it. Shouldn't even be playing that risk, no cap. But nah, this shit looking cool. You could shoot through doors, you could bang through the wall. That's new. Facts. Can't see the enemy. That was the smoke though. What was that? That shit exploded. 20 maps. That grenade exploded like on impact. 20 maps. The maps last year on Cold War wasn't it. I'm not gonna lie, them shits wasn't it. That's why I only be playing like Face Off and Nuketown. Like that's what made Cold War so bad, like to play by yourself. Tactical destruction. They finally have destruction. It took you mad long to catch up to Battlefield with that shit. Like next level customization. Y'all always had it for the customization. I'm not even gonna lie. Global operators, they probably have way more. It'll be crazy if they got like ultimate abilities or some funny shit. Like, that's what I'm thinking they might do. If they do that shit, Call of Duty might be lit, but I don't know. Cause they already have like the field mic, the jammer, and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, November 5th comes out next month on the 5th. Put the volume back on, cause you know.
Pre-order now and get early access to the open beta. Digital pre-orders get instant access to.
And that was crazy too, cause I was just on 2K about how they use regular music so we can't eat off that shit. You think it just did the same shit? It's crazy.
Such amazing work that the team's been able to do, and we're thrilled to have that.
Let me put the volume back up.
Our multiplayer team is putting players in the shoes of a globally diverse cast.
We've focused on special forces operators that are untraditional, gritty anti-heroes from every front of the war. We've also focused on our down-the-barrel experience to bring you brute force weaponry that devastates your enemies and world around you.
Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with some of my colleagues I haven't seen in over a year, and some folks that I've never met before in real life. Our conversations today will be broken down into 4 different sections. We're going to talk about our day 1 offering for multiplayer. We're going to go in depth into gameplay. We're going to talk to our art directors about Vanguard's unique look and take on World War II. We're going to talk to our narrative team about how they brought our operators to life. And we have some special guests from Beanox and Raven. Plus, following the stream, we've invited some of your favorite creators to play Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer, so stick around, we're just getting started.
And it's crazy too, because last year's Call of Duty, nobody was playing Cold War. Like, nobody was playing that. Everybody was playing Warzone, and then a good amount of people that was playing Warzone went to Apex. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let's talk about some multiplayer.
Sounds good.
So we have 20 total maps in the game.
That's a lot.
16 of them that are working with core, and they're across all locations.
So it's technically 16 maps regular, and then everything else is like some special game mode type shit.
And they're Western Front, Eastern Front, North Africa, as well as the Pacific.
And then the 4 maps that comprise Champion Hill, which is Airstrip, Market, Courtyard, and Train Yard.
I do love how we have found.
Wow. So that last 4 is basically one map in different sections. That was the alpha. Remember what I was talking about? The alpha when it has the 2v2s? That was the 4 maps right there.
This fresh approach to World War II. We really, really wanted this time to focus on a global warfare and variety of settings.
And when you think about the player experience too, let's say you finish a match on Gavutu and you just came from the Pacific Theater, and then the next map that loads up is Desert Siege, and now you're in North Africa. So you're just hopping all over the globe.
So we just finished up Alpha. That was the first
that might be
technical
fire,
test
I ain't
of
gonna
Vanguard. And starting today, you can preload for the beta, which has Champion Hill that everybody can now experience, as well as 4 new maps.
Yeah, that's what I'm super
I'm downloading
It's Core MP for the first time, so it's Red Star, Hotel Royale, Gavutu, and Eagle's Nest.
I cannot wait to see all of those players in there.
I cannot wait to see myself in there. Like.
And then we also have combat pacing. So you can now experience this huge range from tactical combat all the way up to blitz combat across those modes that are in the beta. It's such a different experience between when you're playing with blitz and tactical as well, because when you're playing blitz, it's just no holds barred, you're going. Tactical is a lower player count, so we're actually increasing the time to engagement in there, and every shot matters. You're able to play with it in the filter system, so within quick match play, you're able to be like, oh, I prefer tactical.
I'm going to be doing blitz. I remember when we were just first talking about it, the idea of making every map into shipment.
Yeah.
I love that.
But having a map the size of Red Star feel like shipment, if you're having that level of combat pacing, is what's really fun, because it's
yeah, because I like, to me personally, I like the small maps with a lot of cover. You know what I'm saying? It makes like your first shot really important.
It's
like,
different map.
First shot actually matters.
So much fun
like, you
to
feel me?
just go in.
If you miss that first shot, you're most likely dead.
Because you just get killed and respawn and kill someone else constantly. It's amazing.
We also have Patrol coming in as well. It's a new mode for Vanguard.
It's really fun. I'm really excited to see how fans respond.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
It's essentially the moving hard point that's moving around the map on this track. You're going and you're taking it, and as people play it more and more and discover new strategies around it, like there's play the patrol point, hold it down for your team.
I can already tell that map on the table.
Patrol point is
that map right here. This map right here. It's gonna be bullshit. Cause if you're on this side of the map, like you're basically fucked. If you can come inside of the building and go up the stairs and look out the window, bro. If you're spawning on this side of the map, you're fucked. Like, because they try to make this shit as equal as possible, but look differently. But this side would have all like the shit. Like, this probably would be like easy. You're gonna die easy if you go over here. You know what I'm saying? But this is gonna be an advantage.
No matter how many people from your team are on it. So if you're truly, playing as a team, you're gonna have people behind the patrol point, in front of it, really locking down those lanes. That mode is bringing so much more than we've ever had, and you're also exploring the entire map. Playing with other players in these maps, being able to go into, clans. They're coming into the game, they're a tier 1 feature. You can pair up with your buddies and your friends.
We really want to lean into social play because it does make all of your experiences on those maps and modes just so much better.
Think about what you just said about Patrol too. Like if you played Patrol with your clan, how much more effective you would be if everybody was coordinated taking the patrol point at the same time.
Yeah, and you actually progress with your clan. Like that's a new thing that we have in the game. It's pretty exciting and awesome. Like, being able to have the 3 of us in a clan and go and be on progression.
And you can be in a clan together cross-gen as well.
That's right.
That's
we
fire.
Have a huge commitment to our players around cross-gen.
2K need to do that. Everybody needs to do that cross-gen shit. Call of Duty's doing the right thing with this shit, bro.
Cross-platform play where you can go and team up with really anybody who has the game.
It's exciting for me because now I can finally play with my cousin in Toronto who's a PC player, and I'm going to play on my PS4 at home.
I really loved it.
There's a PS4! No, you have a PS4. You don't got a PS5.
Well, because we've invested quite a lot in our social features.
It really widens the scope of the social experience.
If you have a friend who's playing Call of Duty, you don't have to now ask them, oh, what are you playing on?
Right.
You can just be like, join my clan.
We're so excited to have Call of Duty Vanguard launch. The team has done a phenomenal job. I can't thank them enough for all of the effort they've put in. The most content day 1. It's gonna be great.
I believe you, gangsta.
Let's go!
We're here to talk about gameplay. So this is reactive environments, movement and footsteps, create a class, weapons. It's all about creating a fun environment for the players to run around in. And when we were thinking about it as a team, that feeling of pulling the trigger has to be awesome. And you need to be able to use it then for gameplay as well. It's all about that player creativity.
When you first shoot something and it reacts to it, now you start becoming a little more creative about what you want to do with that.
Tactical sprint is in the game. We have it coming back, and you can just sprint through those walls as well.
We tried to give multiple options for how you want to do things, which really allows for a lot of freedom.
More ways to get around the map. That's gonna be pain.
They can also flush you out. You start seeing this stuff just start getting shredded.
You can mount on top of these surfaces as well.
Mountain back, yeah.
Sliding into cover and either mounting on the side, mounting on the top, blind firing over the top.
So blind fire, like let's just talk about that for a second, because blind fire is an all new addition to Vanguard.
Blind
it's kind
fire.
of the hip fire of mount. We actually have it set up where you can ADS and go into mount. So when you're near something, you're gonna go into mount every time you do that. But if you're in cover behind it, your gun's gonna come up, and now you're actually in this state where you know you can blind fire over it. You get a little peek over the piece of cover that you're on, and you're now able to move back and forth across that, fire. You get the hip fire spread, and then once you see somebody coming, you can actually go right back into mount and transition between the two, and it's so fluid.
It just feels like it was always supposed to be there.
You should have seen them. You should have seen them do that.
It's on every map, and it just changes the map over time.
That's right. Like the state that the map starts at is going to look different than the state that it ends at.
Everything really changes, especially in different game modes when you have Dom and Hardpoint.
And even with this idea of combat pacing around those structures, like we have tactical combat pacing where now destruction just matters so much more when there's a lower player count and it's so much more intimate. And then you go into something like Blitz, which is just crazy amounts of players in there, and those maps completely change based on how that combat pacing is flowing throughout every playlist that you're going into and those modes even. We have a caliber system as well, which interacts with these destructive environments. And so you're able to now go caliber up or caliber down within each weapon.
The heavier the caliber, the more it's going to change the look of the walls.
It's not just
Jeez,
visual
he shot
either.
through the wall.
Increasing the caliber does increase the damage the bullet does. So we're kind of moving away from this concept of protecting rate of fire and damage. We're letting the players control it.
We have created a class in the game, and we're building on what was done in Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, that was my game right. Nah, that was the stuff. That was a good game right there. Modern Warfare 2019 was a good game. I'm not gonna lie.
3 perks, lethals, and tacticals.
That's
It's about choices and about the player having choices. Within Create a Class, there's so much going on in there. We have the gunsmith system coming back. We have caliber system, ammo types, 10 attachments as well that you can put on the gun.
10 attachments you could put on a gun. 10 attachments on a gun is crazy.
The coolest thing about 10 attachments is that we were able to make it so that some of the attachments are much stronger than the other attachments. So you have a lot more options, kind of taking our 30-ish guns and bringing it all the way up to over 100 because you can tailor them to whatever you want them to be.
And then it's still familiar with the perks, the 3 perk slots, and you can actually modify those and get some modifications around some of the other core gameplay pieces. And with these weapons and with this caliber system, there's so much in there to be able to use. We have certain perks that are dedicated to it.
Yeah, you might choose an LMG and then try to combine perks for close range to make it so much more like an SMG, but with that power and the ammo size that the LMGs are bringing. Or you might go the completely other way, lean into our new mounted movement system, so you can slide around the cover. You might equip it with piercing vision as one of your perks, your perk 2.
Oh,
it allows you to actually highlight people through walls that you've suppressed. Suppression is a new mechanic that slows people down.
Nah, that perk is gonna be cheese, because if you know how to shoot, if you know that person's right behind the wall, you could just tap that shit a little bit and you just automatically suppress. That shit is crazy.
Give us the most tactical experience you've ever had in Call of Duty.
Yeah, we're trying a lot of risky things, allowing players to tune things like damage and rate of fire, but we're committed to figuring out the right values there, making a balanced game.
We really want to push the envelope, and we really want to bring players a version of Call of Duty, a flavor of it that they haven't tried before.
It is truly the most immersive Call of Duty experience I've ever played, and we're in this together. We're in it with the community. We're there getting feedback from them on all of these elements, and we want to make it the best for everyone.
Sheesh.
On this project, I feel like the collaboration between creative direction, design, and art, there was a lot more cohesion. And so we've grown together in such a way where we can have these great conversations.
It's about stepping out of our comfort zone a little bit. On the last project, we took on the brotherhood of the soldiers. It was a very traditional look at it. This game in Vanguard, it's a fresh look. We wanted something fresh, and we wanted to get into that anti-hero.
Like your first real game on the P5.
This time around,
and the new Xbox.
Kind of dug deeper
and
tried to understand what the soldiers were going through. And it changes the way that they walk, it changes the way that they talk, even the way they would dress and how they would stand. It had to be somebody that was real and somebody that we felt that, like, I want to be that person. I want to play that person. I kind of see myself in that person. I think that was big too, right? Like.
So who's your favorite character?
When I saw Daniel Yatsu, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I want to be that character because that character kind of feels like me, you know? And I think that's huge.
He looks like you. That probably is you. Like,
I just love that our game, we're taking a character-centric approach. You actually have a roster.
Yeah, you get to learn more about them.
Yeah, it makes me want to play every character.
And they all have different looks as well, that have their personalities in them.
The character team has done a lot of great work to recreate you know, all the materials and things like that. I mean, they dress the mannequin as the exact character, they scan it there, and then they virtualize the authentic gearing.
So people are not gonna notice that shit
The
off
same
the
thing
rip,
happens
but
within the
we
maps
gonna notice
as
in the
well.
lobby,
Yeah.
for
And
sure
so
in the
we even
lobby.
have some maps that are actual spaces in the world.
We typically start with a block mesh of a map and try to figure out how we can get photogrammetry assets to match that block mesh. We tried it the other way around on this one.
So they
And
use
that
like
would
Google
really
Maps type
capture
shit?
the spatial relationships of the buildings and the road and the hedges.
You know, it feels like a real place. It also helps with the tone because when something feels more realistic, you take it more seriously.
Yeah.
You know, and when you want to be immersed, you don't want to be pulled out by something that feels artificial.
And there's so many other things that we've done to this engine. Like, we've done a lot with foliage that's in our Pacific maps.
Just speaking of simple things like foliage, the way that the light hits the leaves and then like bleeds and then shines through makes it feel more realistic.
That's
We've been
pain.
using some new software techniques to generate simulations for really windy situations where the palm trees are colliding with each other, and it really makes the map have this energy to it.
That's attention to detail. Like, you feel me? Like, I know people not gonna notice that shit, but like when people like stop, you see the waiting screen and shit like that. But
All of those
like, it's attention to
atmospherics,
detail.
like the Battle of Berlin, WW2, like
see
these
the water
maps have so
falling
much
off.
weather going on, and it's been exceptional to see it in the game.
Attention to detail. Attention to detail is good. This
Neo
shit.
Epic lenses is something we're looking at game-wide. We want to add that new, fresh, badass on top of the Epic setting.
And that's something that you developed.
Yeah, with the art team, we talked about what's the thing that's going to set us apart from the previous game that we made together. And so we talked a lot about the contemporary lens. And that's where the whole Neo aspect comes. Neo noir, it's a new, evolved version of film noir movies. So Epic is its own type of movie. We wanted to take cues from the great epics of the past and add a Neo rebirth to it. A lot of that has to do with composition of the landscape,
You
the
got to
types
take
of
in the crib.
environments that we picked to play in, the palette, the color.
Nah,
A
these
lot of
maps
it.
look mad nice though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, these shits, like, they dead ass look nice. Like, they look nice, bro.
It has to do with the tone.
The art team has done an amazing job. Just the entire team as a whole has done an amazing job making this look great.
With all the content that we
Nah,
had
that
to
shit
do,
look. This
needed
shit look fire.
the
I ain't gonna lie.
rendering, we
This
needed
maps look
engineering,
fire. I
we
ain't gonna
needed
lie. The maps look
the
fire.
effects, the lighting,
It's just the guns.
whole team.
Like, I need to
needed
see some
studio
more
in
guns.
Melbourne to get it looking super awesome in a way that we can deliver the best COD game we can do.
They really did it. Oh, that was pain.
We have a cast of characters. Those characters also
Nah, he
come
talking to mad niggas right now, bro. Like, how many niggas you know, man?
over
How many people
into
you know for real?
multiplayer.
We took the personalities from our campaign and brought them to the wild, exaggerated, crazy world of MP.
Sweet revenge!
We have 12 operators at launch, 6 in the beta, all from different walks of life.
What is bringing those characters together in campaign?
Captain Butcher, who's a returning character from Call of Duty World War II, he's back. He's got a much larger role now. We needed a character when we went to the special
That's
forces,
crazy.
the connective tissue, who was the guy who went around and found all these people to give birth to this new type of warfare. And he puts them together and he sends them into these incredibly dangerous situations.
Sometimes you need a job done. That's when you call the professionals.
So these special operation task forces that we have, the SOTFs, what are these?
That's the whole notion of...
So you saying that we're gonna have like online story mode? That shit would be pain. If they have that shit is gonna be pain, bro.
The multiplayer, this is Butcher forming these teams. You know, they do feel like ragtag people pulled from all over the world to form these awesome squads of elite soldiers.
So when you unlock one of these operators, you get that moment to learn more about their backstory. Belinda, do you have a favorite one of those?
I do. My favorite is for Solange, who is Dutch Aruban, and she was plucked from her everyday life and put into the war, and she did strategy. And I think what's interesting is with our characters, we also not only touch on people who fought on the front lines,
Why they always got like a woman liking a woman? I know it's relatable, but sometimes it gets a little cliche. Like, not saying it's her, but like every single time I hear a lady say, "Oh, what's your favorite character?" It's always a woman. Isn't that like a little cliche? Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It could be reversed.
Touch on people that fought at home, or were taken and not primed for war. They were just normal people that wanted to live normal lives, and then the war happened and everything changed.
You can't change your past, but you can choose how it molds you.
Most of the time in multiplayer, you're selecting the character, you're in the game, you're in the action, running around.
We have a couple that are just like absolutely crazy, don't we? I think Paulina's really sinister, actually, and you get more of a look into her character.
Ooh.
It almost makes you like afraid of her.
It's about immersion, about
like that's what I'll be talking about.
Putting
like,
players in there.
That's what I'll be
and
talking.
These stories are just fantastic.
We wanted to champion a lot of the forgotten stories of the war, and a lot of them are female-led stories. There are a lot of women that had a part in the war, whether on the home.
That is a fact, though. She's not lying. Because when I hear about wars back then, like I don't know or heard any women talk about battle stories. I never.
Fronts or on the battlefield.
Because our dad was gonna say something stupid. I thought what I was gonna say right there was something stupid. I'm like, yo, was women in the war back then? I was about to say that shit, bro. But now it's confirmed that they was there. But you didn't hear their stories because you know, people back in the day.
Lore around them and their backstory and who they were as people, and also we wanted them to feel like distinct pieces on their own.
As you're randomly assigned an operator when you start the game, or you can now use that operator as much as you want. And then they have operator progression, which is a brand new thing where as you're leveling that operator, you're getting cosmetic rewards. They have charms that are based on their backstory, new cool animations that we use in the game for finishing moves and everything else that really immerse you in that experience.
Sheesh.
We don't have factions in multiplayer. It's Team A versus Team B. It is a very deliberate decision, but it's one that we found was for the best of the game. It allows players to be able to customize their character and how they want to play.
You know, once we made that call, it was really important to then really dig deep into find all those different characters, because it was a global war and people were fighting their own battles in their own countries.
I do think, though, there's a lot of opportunities for people to learn about new perspectives and new angles on things that happened during that time period.
So a lot of diversity in our characters, not just in their race, but in their appearance, their gender, and all that is explored more in MP.
They're all fictional characters grounded in World War II, but they are based on real people and real groups that did fight in the war. Another thing with campaign is the character you're playing as. We don't want them to talk too much to sort of allow the player to live the fantasy. So in multiplayer, we get to actually make them talk, and you can hear them talk more.
Didn't think I'd come back.
That brings me back to life.
That's crazy. So they did the opposite. They did the GTA Online story and a story mode type shit. You know, GTA Online, your character doesn't say a damn word. Like 8 years and he still hasn't said a word. Like 8 years of being alive in GTA, he still didn't say a word. All that millions you made, still didn't say a word. Like, but online here, you talk as much as you want, like you're in the story mode, which is crazy.
It's multiplayer, it's still a game, but there's so much history there, there's so much depth and richness, and you've been able to bring all of this together into this story that is quite amazing.
The PC experience.
Hey everyone, my name is Marc-Alexandre Milo, the UI UX director at Beanox.
I got a PC too now, but my shit is not strong. My rig is not strong.
The lead PC developer for Call of Duty. And we are very excited to bring you Call of Duty Vanguard. Beanox has put together a dedicated and passionate team to push the quality of the PC version each and every year. We want the game to be tailored for our PC community by supporting both the latest hardware technology and also optimizing for the best performance. With Call of Duty Vanguard, you will get the greatest features and improvements that we have built over the years, such as the uncapped frame rate, the ultra-wide and the multi-monitor support, and also a lot of settings to fully customize your experience throughout the game.
Alright, so they holding PC
and
niggas down this year.
We wanted our game to be even more accessible. We added options to reduce motion sickness, improve text readability, and we even added adaptive ease of use settings to fit your gameplay style.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna use that.
We've also done a ton of work to improve input latency by using a high-speed.
So they're saying we could down the graphics to get a better connection in the game. You know, I'm gonna get that shit on low.
Camera combined with an Arduino board and an NVIDIA LDAT. It's a device that measures input to photon latency. We're able to identify opportunities to improve reaction time in terms of milliseconds. We have also reworked our auto-detect features. As you may know, we optimize all the graphics settings based on your hardware, but this time you get to choose if you prefer to have the awesome visual experience or aim for the highest frame rates. Lastly, while waiting for your friends to jump into your party or during a round transition, we added a setting that reduces the brightness of your other monitors to allow multitasking without missing any of the action. We have so much more to talk about in the upcoming months, and we can't wait for you to
upcoming months. It comes out next month
on Battle.net. Now I'll pass it to Raven to give you the latest intel on what's coming to Warzone this year.
Warzone. People really don't play Warzone because of the fact that there's mad hackers in Warzone. So it's like, you feel me?
I'm Amos Hodge, Associate Creative Director at Raven Software. With the launch of Vanguard, we want to ensure that the feel and character of the game extends beyond the multiplayer experience and into Call of Duty Warzone. I am pleased to announce that there is a brand new Warzone map coming this year, shortly after the launch of Vanguard, and we are going to the Pacific, featuring an entirely new play space, complete with all new points of interest. Players will get to traverse the lush landscapes of the island and make their way through a variety of extremely cool locations while battling it out alongside friends and foes. Our goal was to create a fresh, new experience for Call of Duty players by breaking out of the war-torn world of Verdansk to create an atmosphere that is vibrant, alive.
Yeah, niggas been fucking up that world.
That it really opens the doors to how we can craft the narratives and events. As far as visuals and technology, Warzone Pacific will share the same tech and engine as Call of Duty Vanguard. This allows for seamless weapon integration and play balance. Fully optimized crossplay, cross-progression, and cross-gen support will be enabled so that you can play with your friends across different platforms.
Yeah, that's why I fuck with this shit, because like I both got Call of Duty on my Xbox and my P5, and it's like that shit stuff, because it's like I don't lose levels. Like at that point, it's like, what controller do I want to play on? Do I want to play on the P5 controller, or do I want to play on the Xbox controller? Still have the same levels and everything. That's like really the most fire part about Call of Duty.
Generations of consoles. But most importantly, we want to ensure that Warzone Pacific will be the best experience it can be. We will be launching with a multifaceted new anti-cheat system that will be rolled out when the new experience goes live later this year.
That's what they needed. They needed this. This is what they needed.
We're putting it through the final paces and testing, and are excited to have it ready day one when the new Warzone experience releases. Our teams have worked hard on this and much more, and will continue to do so. We know how much it means to everyone. We will be continuing to offer a massive calendar of free post-launch content featuring new modes, playlists, limited time events, and seasonal events, as well as community celebrations and much more. We look forward to playing with all of you later this year when the Pacific officially comes online.
Facts. I'm gonna try it. For sure, I'm gonna try that.
We sincerely appreciate you watching, but there's so much more for our fans to experience from the beta through launch. The beta will be running over the next 2 weekends, and you can preload on PlayStation starting today. For your first look at live gameplay from Call of Duty Vanguard 4 multiplayer,
you know I'm about to, you know what I'm saying, download that shit after this video
from
immediately.
The entire development team around the world.
Immediately, I'm about to download
this. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No cap.
We can't wait to see you in the game.
No cap, I'm about to download that shit. Oh, gotta mute it again. Gotta mute it again, cause you know what I'm saying? Don't want to get copyrighted. Niggas try to get us. You know what I'm saying? Champion Hill, we played on that before. Patrol, that's new maps. Kill confirmed, yeah. That stuff down, yeah. That stuff. The best modes, the 3 best modes, man. The 3 best modes. But hey, if you made it to the end of the video, you obviously like the video because it's long. So you obviously gotta subscribe, hit that sub button, y'all. We on the road to 1,100 subs. I appreciate everybody that's watched till the end of the video. I love each and every one of you. With that being said, it's your boy Johnny Finesse, and I'ma holla at y'all.